boxing. Anybody remember he said that? Said that I had plans on promoting fighters. Well, Floyd Mayweather picked me up from the halfway house. I didn't know Floyd. But what I learned is how to use my mind. What I call, remember all these guys say they want you to remember something? Well, the thing that I want you to remember is that you must become a critical thinker. See, what I found out, if you can be a critical thinker, there's nothing that you can't do. I'm talking about anything. From learning how to become a lawyer, to shooting movies, to being a fight promoter, a movie producer, there's nothing that you can't do if you become a critical thinker. And what do I mean by critical thinking? Can anybody here tell me what I mean by being a critical thinker? Anybody know?
To think the best thought in the worst situation?
You close, you close. What critical thinking is to be able to take a situation, break it down, analyze it, and figure out what the outcome is going to be. Like solving problems. And that's what I say that we all in this world must become. I think that we as a society got away from critical thinking. That's why they don't mind locking us up like they do. Because they thinking that it's easier just to throw us in prison instead of teaching us. Instead of showing us how to deal with drugs. See, I believe that if you all educated, they could drop a mountain of cocaine right here and won't nobody touch it. If you know. I said, our kids are not taking rat poison, they don't just use rat poison. So if they got enough sense not to use rat poison, if they've been educated on drugs, then they have enough sense not to do that. I never gangbanged because to me it didn't make sense. See, I always wanted to work with the Crips and the Bloods. So it allowed me a position that other guys who were selling drugs couldn't compete with me because I could get money from both sides. I could go over to the Blood neighborhood, the Crip neighborhood, the Hispanic neighborhood, because I never gangbanged. Remember Jesse Cassidy, I never got tripped up in the Civil War that the Bloods and the Crips were putting on because it didn't make sense to me. I'm not gonna fight you over a color. I'm not gonna fight you over a neighborhood. So I don't have no violence in my jacket. I only carried a gun when I sold drugs in self-defense, and even when I sold drugs, I didn't carry a gun. I would usually carry a gun if I went to a nightclub or somewhere I felt that I was gonna be out by myself and somebody might recognize me, because most people don't even recognize me. I was at an event this Sunday, and the whole word on the whole little event, it was about 10,000 people became, they don't know who you are. People just kept coming up to me saying, oh, they don't know who you are. And I would tell them, do you know who I am? They would say, yeah, I know you. I said, how you know me? Oh, I saw you on the Joe Rogan show. I saw you with Jim North, on the Jim North show. Or I saw you on this show. I said, yeah, but did you really find out who I am? Did you really find out what I did and how I did it? When I was in prison, there was a lot of young guys coming in for selling drugs. And they was getting them a lot of time. 20 years, 40 years, life sentences. And I was like, wow, these guys didn't even make no money. This guy was only holding $2,000 and $3,000 at a time, maybe $50,000, $100,000. And I said, they didn't really make no money. So what I found out, the reason they didn't make no money, why? Why didn't they make money?
It was gangbanging.
Wasn't a gangbanging, because I know gangbangers that made money. They didn't know what they was doing. See, they didn't know the rules and the laws to selling drugs. My guys made money because I had learned what I was doing and I taught them what to do. So what I found out is that now what we have to do is be taught what we're supposed to do. See, how can he know unless he's been taught? So we can't even expect you all to know certain things unless somebody taught you.
Yeah.
See, gangbanging been taught to us. Selling drugs, you can go on any block and they can teach you how to sell drugs, man. Come on. Anybody can teach you how to cook up cocaine. I remember the time when there was nobody to teach you how to cook it. I paid a lot of money to learn how to cook cocaine. Let's say like $70,000. Somebody to teach me how to cook it. But once I learned, see, I gave it to my homies for free. They didn't have to pay that $70,000. I also gave them the instructions that they needed to make them millionaires. And I'm saying that right now that I'm willing and they willing to give you guys the instructions to show you how to get your life to the next level. I can teach you how to be a movie star if that's what you want to be. I was at my screening for my documentary screened in LA last Saturday. And I didn't go in because I'm kind of protesting against them screening it. So I was standing outside just talking to the people who came to see it, and while I was standing there, John Singleton walked up to me and he said, man, I'm doing a TV series. I would like for you to play a role in the series. Can we sit down and talk about it? Sent me a picture the other day of me and him that we took outside the place. Also, I've been running a campaign with my book. When you go online, you'll see me taking pictures with just so many people. Well, what happened with that picture is that I've been dominating the internet. So one of the things that I don't like about the internet is that I was in jail when it got started. If I'd have been out when it got started, I'd have been one of the kings of it. I've been doing so well with the internet, with my marketing schemes, that last month I got a call from Facebook headquarters. They want me to come up and talk to them. I don't even know what they want to talk about yet, but I got an idea because of the work I've been doing. I've been traveling all over the country, speaking, talking to young people like you. And when I look at you, you all look like the same people I spoke at Brown University. You don't look no different. But you also look like the young people when I spoke in Indiana at Juvenile Hall. You look like them too. So it's really no difference. It's gonna be up to you of which position you put yourself in. You could go to Brown University or you can go to the Juvenile Hall. When the old dudes told me when I got to the pen, they said, Rick, it's two ways you're gonna get your education. You get it at Penn State or the state pen. He said, you already done chose the pen, so you better get your education. Before I left prison, I read over 300 books. And I didn't read no Street Lick, How Sally, and how John sold drugs, and how the gang bang. I didn't need none of that. I grew up in that. So what I did is I educated myself in business because I ain't never had a job. I ain't never filled out an application. I haven't worked since I've been home. Well, technically I ain't worked. To go and do what I'm doing right now, I've got paid as much as $3,500. They put me in a 5-star hotel. They picked me up in a limousine. They fed me. And whoever I had with me. But all that because of the sacrifice that I did. That I learned that the same principles that I've been using in the drug business works in anything. The same stuff that you're doing right now to survive, you can take those same skills and make it in school. While I was in prison, I became Student of the Month 4 times in a row. Because I wanted to try and see if the same thing worked that I used to win my case. See, I won my case. I told y'all that, right? Didn't I tell y'all I found the issue that got me out of prison?
No.
No? I didn't tell them that? Oh, okay. Well, let me tell you what happened. I'm in the law library one day, right? And I've been reading like 18, 19 hours a day. I mean, I start reading at night, and it'd be chow time the next morning. They hitting the door, open the door, and I'm still reading my case. But one day I'm reading, and these 3 words pop out. Continuous criminal spree. What that mean? Well, continuous criminal spree means that What? Well, a continuous criminal spree means that might be the CIA. You know, the CIA be messing with me. Well, a continuous criminal spree means that if you committing crime and you've never been brought to justice, it's just one continuous run. And that's kind of what happened in my case, except my case was a little different. When they finally caught up, see, they couldn't catch up to me. They didn't know what I looked like. They was looking for the wrong person. They weren't looking for how I look right now. See, I ain't like a lot of the cats. You know, you see, they got all the jewelry on and they got the $300 jeans on. But see, what I found out is that I couldn't dress like that and get rich. I found out by pure accident that your money work harder than you do. But you got to save your money to be, what's the word I want to use? Is it frugal?
Frugal.
Huh?
Frugal.
Frugal? Frugal. Okay. Well, y'all know I ain't got no. I mean, you know, I was illiterate till I was 28 years old, so y'all bear with me here. I'll be trying to speak them big words I read in them books, and sometimes I don't pronounce them right. But I was being frugal. I didn't take my money and just blow it. I spent my money in ways that are going to benefit me later on. Well, in the continuous criminal spree, they took me from California to Texas to Cincinnati to St. Louis to Louisiana, and once I got convicted in the first one, that I made deals with the rest of them that if they run them all concurrent, I don't get any more time, then I was fine with pleading guilty. So I pled guilty to all those cases. I had like 4 cases. So I got out, and my partner set me up. I wasn't selling drugs anymore. My plan was to go into the record business. I felt that I could make it in the record business because Harry O was my cellie, the guy who helped Suge start Death Row. So I kind of had an idea of what they did. Well, my partner set me up. He talked me into introducing him to another one of my friends and that was still in the game, one of my little homies, and I got arrested. Well, they wanted to 3-strike me, and I used a scenario that a person couldn't be a career criminal in one day. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals in Los Angeles reversed my case, and that's how I got here today. Right. So basically, I taught myself law, and when Jesse Katz was talking in the book about me telling him all the things that I was going to be doing when I got home because I knew that I was coming home. I still had a little doubt in my mind that it was possible that I may not come home, that the courts could go against their law books, but I felt real comfortable that they wasn't going to go with what they said. And that's why when he said that I was more buoyant than I ever was, because I kind of felt that I was coming home. And I'm using the same determination, the same willpower, the same mindset that I use to sell drugs, that I use to reverse my life sentence. Well, I'm using that right now today. And I challenge you, go online and look at some of the stuff I'm doing. I was in New York 2 months ago. Jesse Jackson had called me up for an economic summit is what they called it. And he called me up as a guest speaker. And when I walked off the stage, Jesse walked up to me and he said, "You the man, homie." And for Jesse Jackson to say that to me meant a whole lot to me. 2 weeks out of prison, I had meetings with the 4 most powerful guys in Hollywood. And some of you probably never heard of them, because most people don't. They're more behind the scene. But these are the guys who every TV show you see on TV, every movie you see, they produced it or they okayed it. And I was sitting in these guys' offices, and I knew why I was there, but they didn't know. And this is a guy that was illiterate, couldn't read, couldn't write. So if I'm able to do this here, and believe me, trust me, you are smarter than I am. I know every one of you can read. Don't none of y'all have to learn your ABCs all over again, do you? Anybody here need to learn the ABCs over? Huh? So you are better off right now than I was when I was 28 years old. So all you have to do now is take what you have and learn how to put it to good use. And you won't be able to be stopped. You'll be just like me. See, I don't know how high I'm gonna go.
All right.
I don't know how high I'm gonna go.
That's right. That's right.
I was at Congresswoman Maxine Waters' inauguration party about 3 months ago. And I was just there, looking like this here. Everybody got on their suits and their ties. And she said, Rick Ross, come up on this stage. And she introduced me to the crowd. And then the first thing popped in my mind is, well, Hillary Clinton finna run for president. Maxine Waters is gonna be one of her main supporters. Is Hillary Clinton gonna call me on the stage too?
Yeah.
Just watch and see. We're gonna see what happens. But that's the kind of attitude that I have right now. It ain't no limits to what I can do. Can't nobody tell me who I can't be. I ain't gonna let them do it to me no more. See, before, I let the homies trick me into believing that I was a dope dealer.
All right.
See, that was a trick.
Yeah.
Just like right now, you hear these guys on the radio and they rap about how much dope they sold. And they ain't sold nothing. But they would have you to believe that they have.
That's right.
See, they would make you think that they me, when they really got their money from Universal. I mean, the industry is loaded with them.
Yeah.
I was reading an article one day, I was getting off the airplane, and I was reading an article about Jay-Z. And when I read the article, I said, man, this dude ain't never sold no dope. I said, no dope dealer talk about the game like he talking about the game, that's BS. I said, why is he rapping about selling dope when he ain't never did it? Because they want you to believe they somebody that they not. Because the companies that's backing them invested inside the penitentiaries. I'm gonna end y'all with that. Thank y'all for any questions.